Hello, and welcome to this Paychex Special Edition video podcast. I'm Rob Parsons, live from the floor of HR Tech 2024. I'm here today with Safwan Shah, the founder and CEO of Payactiv, a public benefit corporation and certified B Corp. An ardent inventor and innovator, he authored the book, It's About Time, advocating for businesses to drive positive change. In 2019, he was honored with the George Norlin Award from CU Boulder, where he completed his PhD in aerospace engineering. Safwan, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
So, we talked briefly about it, but can you give me a high-level overview of what you're seeing at the show, what you're seeing in terms of trends in HR technology, and even maybe a picture of how things have changed in the last 4 or 5 years? I know you've got a perspective on innovation and how it gets adopted.
Well, that's a great question. The obvious change, of course, is the word AI. It's almost everywhere now. Every product kind of has AI as a prefix or as a suffix, so that's a big change. Otherwise, I think we are in a sort of inflection point, and the real change is coming. So what I'm sensing here, that a number of products which are not on the main floor, but around the floor, they are the next big wave, and they have AI next to them. So that, I would say, is the big change. Now, today the substance in AI product is still evolving. They're becoming more substantive. So I did notice that. So I think AI is the big thing.
And it's not surprising. Now, paired with that, you must be seeing that there's a lot of changes happening in the workforce as well. We've been talking a lot about the multi-generational workforce, the impact of millennials, Gen Z. What are you seeing there from your organization's perspective and from your own personal perspective?
So the unique thing that has happened and is happening here is that we've got almost like a universal language, and that is digital, that is social, that is about building community within work, within workplaces, and so forth. So I think the multi-generational question, though a very important one, but the answer resides in how each one of them learns about the other within the workforce, what matters to them, what doesn't matter to them, through these digital tools. So that is where I think the common language exists within the workplace, in digital tools.
So is that what you're implementing in your own organization? Is that what you're trying to get to?
So it's like within an organization, you have to take a department view, right? There are different departments, and different departments have people of different seniority and different age groups and different generations. So when you're birds of a feather, the communication is around a particular departmental need. So we see that these digital tools, chat, Slack, all these tools are a great unifier. So yes, one way to perhaps answer the question is absolutely. It's all digital communication now. Emojis.
Yes.
You could be 70 years old and emoji is fun.
Yes. And they actually are very valuable, I've found, because the written word does not communicate the way face-to-face does.
We all have, children who are young, or we know somebody who would communicate very efficiently with emojis, and you say, how do they get it? The whole conversation with pictures.
Mm-hmm. So I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about financial well-being, financial stresses. We know that there's a lot of people concerned about the economy. There's a lot of people concerned about the job market, both from the employer side, but also from the employee side. How are you seeing financial wellness, financial stresses impacting the workforce and impacting productivity and engagement in general?
So, there are many stresses in life, but if you had to find a common thread in almost all the stresses, there usually is financial money involved somewhere. So financial stress is a significant, perhaps the most insidious form of stress. And when we talk about its impact, there are many studies that have been done, but I'll try to summarize it the way I look at it, because we run a financial wellness, a holistic financial wellness company. I think it impacts health in a big way. Blood pressure, all those things. There are studies to say that different parameters of vital signs of people are impacted by financial stress. Another thing that is not talked about as much, and a lot of study and research has been done on it, is what is called efficacy or self-efficacy or self-esteem. When you're in financial stress, what really happens is you feel that you want to hide away from the world. So now if you take these two things together and say, how does it impact productivity, is easier to understand. You're feeling physically unwell, and you don't want to be in a group of people. How is that going to impact everything? Everything's impacted, work. And finally, what it does is, with all these things compounding in your system, your decision-making capability is diminished. So the decisions you take when you're in financial stress are poor. So that's how I think everything ties back to financial stress, bad decisions, and then of course workplace suffers, productivity suffers, collaboration suffers.
Was that some of the inspiration for the solution that you and your team developed? In fact, you and your team got an HR Tech award here a few years back for Pay on Demand. Was that some of the inspiration for that?
2016, I remember walking up the stage in Chicago, and Payactiv was awarded HR Tech's Product of the Year. The product, the technology, the idea, I mean, obviously nothing happens overnight. So it was 2013 when the first customer went live. And I coined the word or the term earned wage access in 2016. So if you type earnedwageaccess.com, it takes you to Payactiv. And the reason, and I think the answer is best from the reason of earned wage access, the naming of this Pay on Demand. See, Pay on Demand is a name of earned wage access. So it was based on this simple notion that it's earned, not early.
Right.
It's wage, not income. Income could be rental income, interest income. And it's access, which is a right, not an advance, which implies impatience. So earned wage access. And now, as it's evolved over the years, it's become pay on demand or on demand pay, etc., etc. So the inspiration for me, to answer your specific question, there was a sense of fairness and justice. That, hey, why in this system, if when everyone gets paid, or landlords get paid in advance, vendors get paid upon delivery, but why do employees have to wait for 2 weeks? Customers pay us instantly, right? You go and have a cup of coffee and tell the Starbucks or whatever company, you pay them right then and there, but the person behind the barista waits 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So thoughts like that led to the creation of earned wage access. And at this point, a category and an industry. I walked the floor and I saw like 6 or 7 companies who say that, hey, we are earned wage access companies.
Funny how an idea catches up, isn't it?
And every idea, it has a time and timing, right? And I think this is the time that earned wage access has become necessary. There are at least 100 million people in the United States who would be users of this service if it was freely and readily available to everybody. Of the $24 trillion economy that United States is, more than 10 trillion of that economy, the GDP, is payroll every year.
It's a huge number.
And it waits 2 weeks. So velocity of money can be changed. So I think this is just the beginning. We are at the very early innings of earned wage access.
To bring it down to a really practical level, see, I'm a small business owner. How does offering earned wage access, pay on demand, help me retain employees, help my employees be better? What are the advantages if I'm a business owner to offering this solution?
So, like anything, when a benefit comes out initially, it's the big companies who adopt it, right? Many, many years ago, if you had a personal computer, it was given to you by the business. You didn't have it at home. Similarly, earned wage access started in larger size companies. So now, where do larger size companies hire people? In the same place where everybody is sourcing and hiring talent. So if there is a benefit which a larger major corporation can offer its employees or its team members, the smaller business also wants that benefit, and it was not universally available. I remember we had Walmart using our service and many other companies, but the smaller businesses in that area were the ones who were finding it hard to retain people, because they'd say, hey, so-and-so offers this benefit, I'm going to go there. So that's the first thing. Smaller businesses did not get this benefit until companies like Paychex. Paychex is really the heart of America. The small business is Paychex. They are the sort of company that provides payroll. So it does the same value for them. They can hire people easier. It's a benefit that everybody loves. And the reason they love this benefit is, in a way, when you offer pay on demand, it is a declaration to your employee that I know and I care. Deep down, we are emotional people. If an employer offers it, the employee doesn't have to go through the embarrassment and asking, I need $100. And there is an understanding in it, implicit understanding that my employer cares. And I think that's what drives the good sort of outcomes from a pay on demand. Employees feel that they are understood, they are heard, and the employer understands what their real challenge is.
I love that. And, it leads me to ask, are there other things employers can and should be doing to be more supportive for their employees and their well-being, to make them feel more a part of the solution versus just a cost and a problem to be dealt with?
I think there are downstream advantages. When you tackle financial wellness, what started as pay on demand, it is really a component of financial wellness. And if financial wellness expands, it will be holistic financial wellness. So when you need money between paychecks and you get that money, what do you do with it? It's either food, fuel, groceries, something like that, right? Pay some bill, daycare, etc. So the next thing you can do is you can get them discounts on livelihood expenses. Of course, it's an obvious next thing. The next thing you can do is you can get them better financial products. They can pay their bills. So it is an endless sort of series of financial services. And the beauty of pay on demand is that now that payroll companies and HR companies are thinking about offering it, and we are partnered with, of course, with Paychex, it is a sea change that will come to tens of thousands of businesses in America, because Paychex is there. We're talking about millions of people.
Yeah.
So I think we are going to see many, many other services get added onto it. I won't, take time and explain and describe them, but pay on demand is the beginning.
I love that, and I love that perspective, and you kind of answered the question I wanted to get to. Also, I'm asking everybody, what are the top 3 things you would want to do or be to become that employer of choice, to help employees or potential employees understand, hey, that's actually somebody I want to work for, not somebody I just have to work for?
So I think about this a lot, and pay on demand to me was a fundamental component of building this relationship where both sides understand each other,
right,
without having to do marketing, right?
Okay.
Marketing is sometimes designed to amplify something which may not be as great. Sometimes it is. So the single biggest thing that offering a benefit like earned wage access does is, it's a declaration that we hear you, we know what your challenge is, and we care. Why do employees come and work in a company? A company gives them an opportunity, but what is it that makes an employee stay in a company? It is opportunity to growth.
Right.
So opportunity is the beginning, which takes you from point A to point B, but growth is what makes a person stay in a company. So it's an opportunity and growth. I mean, that is the DNA of America.
Yes, it is. Love that answer. That's tremendous. All right, I want you to look in your crystal ball, Safwan. What's the next big thing? What are we going to see at the show in a year, 2 years, 5 years?
I think substantive AI. Our comfort level with our answers coming out of chatbots and agentic AI and so forth, we will start trusting it. It is simply, I think that is the big journey that we are on. AI is capable of much more than we realize or know. And I think we are going to see substantive products in that category. I think that's where things are going.
Tremendous. Safwan, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a great conversation, a lot of great information. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody. As always, please stay happy and healthy.